The child support scheme run by the Australian Government Department of Human Services makes sure that parents share the cost of supporting their children and that the children's needs are met. It also keeps these arrangements as simple as possible. A particular area of concern is when parents and children live outside Australia and issues that come up when it comes to the impacts that their residency status has on paying or receiving child support. There might be some uncertainty as to whether a parent can claim child support in Australia in these circumstances. In this video, we'll be looking at the different circumstances under which you might be needing to claim child support in Australia, where the parent and or the child live outside Australia, and also the steps that you need to take in each case. Hi, I'm Buki Adelaja, and you're watching another episode on the Youenrol channel. Our mission is to make your life easier by being your go-to destination for up-to-date information about studying, living and working in Australia without you having to pay costly consultant fees no matter where you are in the world. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the bell icon so that you don't miss out on our new videos when they are released. First of all, a bit about the child support scheme in Australia. The child support scheme makes sure that when parents separate, they both still put money towards raising their children, just as they would if the family hadn't separated. It means that even if you don't live with your children, you still have to help pay for them. It also means that if you have the main job of looking after your children, you can get money from your former partner to help raise them. The child support scheme is run by the Australian Department of Human Services. What is child support for? Child support is a system that makes sure both parents pay for a child's upbringing. Child support aims to make sure that children get an appropriate level of financial support. Both parents are responsible for providing child support. Child support payments are made regularly and on time. Parents provide a level of financial support they can afford. The Australian Government Department of Human Services can be more or less involved depending on what parents decide. Some parents make their own arrangements and handle their own payments, and others rely more on the department. So how much child support do you pay or get? The amount of child support you will either pay or get depends on how much you earn, how many children you have, how old your children are, who cares for your children. Do note that the laws about child support payments change regularly. The Australian Department of Human Services may be able to help you set up child support when you or the other parent live in another country. Different countries have a range of child support schemes. How they can help depends on your case and where each parent lives. They may be able to help you to either apply for an Australian child support assessment or register a maintenance order agreement or assessment if it was established in a reciprocating jurisdiction, or get payments from the parent in Australia, or make payments to the parent in Australia. Applying when the other parent is outside Australia. If you live in Australia and the other parent lives outside Australia, you should contact the Department of Human Services to discuss applying for child support. You may be able to apply for child support assessment or to register a maintenance liability made outside Australia. Applying when you live outside Australia. If you are a receiving parent and you live in a reciprocating jurisdiction and the other parent lives in Australia, you can apply to get child support from them. You will find a full list of the reciprocating countries on the Department of Human Services website. You need to do two things. The first is to apply through the maintenance authority in your country to get an Australian child support assessment by using the Department of Human Services International Application for Child Support form. The form is also available to download on the Department of Human Services website. A support assessment is based on the principle that parents need to meet the cost of raising their children. The child support assessment takes into account a number of factors, including both parents' incomes, how much time each parent cares for the children, and the responsibility for children from other relationships. This is to ensure that the children of the assessment receive a proper level of financial support from their parents. The Australian Government Department of Human Services can work out the child support payment amount by using the formula that can account for the different family circumstances. They can also collect the payment and transfer them on your behalf, and this is known as Child Support Collect, or you can choose to transfer the payments independent of them. This is known as Private Collect. Should you choose the Child Support Collect option, the method of collecting and transferring payments will depend on the residential arrangement of the parents receiving the child support. The second thing you need to do is you also need to apply to the maintenance authority in your country to register and collect a maintenance liability made outside Australia. You can apply to register a maintenance liability made outside Australia. This lets the department collect and transfer child or spousal support under Australian law. A maintenance liability can be for child support or spousal support. It can be any of the following: a court order, an agreement, or an assessment. When a maintenance liability is registered with the Department of Human Services, they can collect and transfer child support or spousal support on your behalf. If you are a non-parent carer and you live in a reciprocating jurisdiction, you can apply to get child support if at least one parent lives in Australia. What about if you're a paying parent? If you are a paying parent and you live in a reciprocating jurisdiction and the other parent lives in Australia, you can apply to pay child support to them. You can apply by either using the International Application for Child Support Assessment form or by calling the department's Child Support International phone number or through the maintenance authority in your country. If you are a paying parent and don't live in a reciprocating jurisdiction, you can apply directly to the Department of Human Services for an assessment. You can do this if the other parent is an Australian resident and the child is in Australia on the day you apply for the assessment, normally resides in Australia, is an Australian citizen. What about eligibility for child support assessment? When applying for an Australian child support assessment, there are some specific criteria that apply. You must meet all of these requirements to be eligible for an assessment, and these are: at least one parent must be a resident of Australia on the day the application is made. The parent required to pay child support must reside in Australia or a reciprocating jurisdiction. You must not be currently living in a genuine domestic relationship with the other parents. The child or children must be under 18, unmarried, and not living in a de facto relationship. The children must be either usually living in Australia or a country that is a reciprocating jurisdiction or an Australian citizen. The Department of Human Services is satisfied that you and the other parent are the parents of the child. Apply when both parents live in Australia. If both parents live in Australia and you have a maintenance liability that is made outside Australia, you can apply to register this. You need to contact the Department of Human Services about this. Getting payments from a parent that is outside Australia. The Department of Human Services may be able to help collect payments from a paying parent who is outside of Australia. If the paying parent agrees, they can arrange for them to make regular payments through the department. Even when they pay on time, there is often a long wait before you get your payment. So find out more about what they can do to help collect payments from a parent outside Australia on the department's website. Getting payments if you live outside Australia. The department can help with child support arrangements if both of the following apply. You live in a reciprocating jurisdiction. The maintenance authority in your country asks the Department of Human Services to do so. Read more about receiving child support when you live outside Australia on the department's website. Making payments to a parent in Australia. If you live outside Australia and pay child support to a parent who lives in Australia, the department will try to contact you. They will discuss your payment and check your Australian assessment that it is correct and reflects your circumstances. Making payments to a parent outside Australia. If you pay child support to a parent in a reciprocating jurisdiction, the maintenance authority in that country may ask the department to collect the payment. They will transfer any money owing to the other parent. The Department of Human Services will use their usual range of collection options to do so. Do note that there are special rules about child support if you or the other parents live in New Zealand. So read more about child support between Australia and New Zealand on the department's website. Hope you found the information in this video useful. If you have any questions or any comments, do leave them in the comment section below this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Also click the bell icon to find out when we release new videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.